Welcome to this 15-minute flow to firefly pose beach yoga class. So we're going to begin in a seated position, hands to the knees, finding length through the spine, taking a few deep breaths here. As you're ready, sliding the right arm out to your side, maybe coming down to that elbow if the hip is on the mat. On the ground, reaching left arm up past the ears and overhead. Breathing deeply into the side body on an inhale, coming back up. And then reaching over to your left once again, maybe coming down to the forearm, sitting equally through the hips. Reaching that right arm over to the side. Breathing into the side body. On your next inhale, coming back up, finding length through the spine. And then left hand coming to the right knee, right arm behind you. Finding length on an inhale, twisting deeper as you exhale. Looking over the shoulder. And your next inhale, coming back to center. And then exhaling as you twist in the opposite direction. Looking over that shoulder. With each inhale, finding a little bit more length through the spine. And with each exhale, twisting a little bit deeper. As you inhale, coming back to center. And then extending the legs out long, hands behind you. Alternating here, pointing and flexing the toes. If you'd like doing both feet together or doing opposites. Moving up the ankles and then rolling them in either direction here. Waking them up. Drawing the knees back into a cross-legged position. And then bringing that right leg up, either holding onto the sole of the foot with the left hand or bring the foot into the left elbow crease, wrapping right arm around you. Maybe swaying side to side, opening the hip. As you're ready, releasing that foot. And coming onto the opposite side, so left foot coming to the right hand or into the elbow crease, hugging the leg in here, opening the hip, finding length through the spine, lifting the chest towards the leg. Breathing in space. As you're ready, releasing that leg and coming forward onto all fours, knees under the hips. Taking a few cat-cows here as you inhale, opening the front of the body, exhale, rounding chin to chest. Moving at the pace of your own breath here, spreading fingers wide. And your next inhale, coming to a flat back. Extending right leg behind you, pressing through the heel. And exhale, stepping foot between the hands. Hands coming to the hips. Sinking the hips down here. Checking in that the front knee is over the ankle. With each exhale, finding heaviness through the hips. Releasing the hands, coming back to all fours, wrists under the shoulders, knees under the hips, extending left leg behind you, and exhale, stepping that foot between the hands. Once again, hands to the hips, sinking the hips down with each exhale. Imagine the pelvis becoming heavy. Breathing into the opening through the low body. Shoulders relax down away from the ears. And releasing those hands, tucking back, toes under, stepping back into a plank, and exhale, down dog. Inhale, right leg up behind you. Exhale, knee to the chest, holding it here, core engaged. And stepping that foot between the hands. Inhale, arms overhead, crescent lunge. Shoulders relax down the back body. Exhale, releasing the hands and stepping back to downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg up, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee towards the chest, pausing there, core engaged. And stepping that foot between the hands. Inhale, arms up, crescent lunge. Shoulders down the back. Pressing feet to either side of the room or the mat. And exhale, releasing hands back down to the ground, downward facing dog. Stepping those feet together so toes are touching, and then exhale the right foot forward, pivoting the back foot to plant the foot. Right hand coming inside of that front foot. As you inhale, left arm overhead, stacking the shoulders here. Sinking down into your lunge, legs engaged. If you'd like, coming into a bind, wrapping that bottom arm around the back of the thigh, top arm coming around the back body, maybe interlacing fingers. Releasing here if you're in the bind. And on an exhale, bending into that back leg, opposite foot reaching towards the ceiling or flexing that foot. Pressing through the legs, coming to the opposite side, opening the hips. One more time on each side here. Legs engaged as you push over to the side, opening the hip here. And then walking hands towards the back of your mat or the opposite leg. Downward facing dog, stepping big toes together. And then exhale, stepping the left foot forward, pivoting the back foot, planting it down. Left hand to the inside of the foot. And then inhale, right arm overhead, stacking shoulders. Looking up to the ceiling past the fingers or down to the ground for stability. And maybe wrapping arms around in that bind once again. Sinking down into your lunge, legs engaged. Opening the chest. And releasing the hands back down. Walking the hands towards the center, coming into a wide-legged forward fold. On an exhale, folding forward, maybe bringing peace fingers around the big toes. Inhale to find length. Exhale, bending the elbows, coming deeper into your fold. Holding it here. And an inhale, walking hands back towards the top of the mat. Stepping back to downward facing dog. And then stepping the feet forward, taking a wide stance, toes out, coming into our Yogi squat. Palms coming together in front of the chest. Relaxing those hips down here, letting the pelvis become heavy. Pressing the elbows into the legs, opening the hips. And then taking a slightly shorter stance, toes pointing forwards, holding it in a low squat here, engaging the glutes and the lower legs, sinking back into those heels, finding length through the spine, palms together, and exhale, releasing into a forward fold, maybe peace fingers around the big toes. Bending elbows as you fold forward even deeper. On an inhale, finding length through the spine and preparing for our firefly pose. Walking those hands back, see if you can get the shoulders behind the knees, behind the legs. Hands to the back of the ankles, maybe staying there, or walking hands behind the feet, fingers pointing forwards, maybe experimenting with picking one foot up and then the other, maybe crossing ankles, or if you'd like, firmly pressing through the arms, straightening them here, hugging the shoulders with the legs, core engaged as you extend the legs out, pointing through the toes. One more breath. And releasing here back into a forward fold. If you'd like, taking ragdoll here, holding opposite elbow, releasing the upper body forward, relaxing head and neck. And coming back into firefly. So once again, finding length through the spine as you extend the legs. And then taking a deep bend through the knees, hugging those shoulders behind the legs. Hands coming behind you, fingers pressing forwards, palms down. Lifting the heels as you sit back. Hugging the legs and shoulders together, core engaged, straightening the arms. And releasing here back into your ragdoll pose. If you'd like, swaying side to side. And releasing here, widening your stance, toes pointing out, coming back into our yogi squat, palms together in front of the chest. As you're ready, transitioning here, releasing to your seat. Coming into a fish pose, legs extended forwards. Hands either behind you or I like to put them under my hips, totally up to you. Forearms on the ground, shoulder distance apart. Heels together, feet resting apart. And releasing the head and neck back here, chest opening, pressing through those forearms to lift out of the shoulders. Breathing into the front body. Relaxing the jaw. And then tucking chin back to the chest to release out of this pose. Coming to lay all the way on your back, arms by your sides. Inhale, arms up, pointing the toes. Exhale, hugging the left knee into the chest. Holding it here, breathing deeply. And exhale as you twist to the right, left arm coming out to your side at shoulder height. Looking over that shoulder, maybe bending the right knee, grabbing a hold of that foot. Taking a twist as you open up through that right quadricep. One more breath here. Releasing hold of that foot if you're holding onto it. Rotating back to center, legs extended. Inhale, arms overhead, pointing the toes. Exhale, right knee hugging into the chest. Elbows to your sides. Taking full belly breaths. And exhale as you twist over to the left, right arm out to your side at shoulder height, looking over that shoulder. Maybe taking hold of the left foot, bending the knee. Hugging both shoulders towards the mat. Breathing into the twist. Releasing the foot, rotating back to center, legs extending. Inhale, arms overhead, pointing the toes. And exhale, hugging knees to the chest, chin to the chest, rolling up into a tight ball here, core engaged. One more breath. And releasing back into Shavasana pose, final resting pose. Allowing the legs to release, arms releasing, eyes closed. And just taking a minute here to soak in the practice, the space that you've created for yourself. Maybe thanking yourself for coming to your mat today to practice. And then inhale, reaching the right arm overhead, bending the knees, rolling onto your side, and pressing yourself up into a comfortable seated position. So you come to seated, inhaling arms overhead, exhale palms together through heart center, namaste.